It's time for World of the Night with Zapagalis. Hello again, kings, queens, knights, and peasants. Welcome to another episode of World of the Night with Zapagalis and his upside-down shield. Today we are going to continue to build our massive gold farm, which turns out is so massive. There's going to be a part 3 of this. This is part 2. So let's jump right in, and I hope you enjoy the episode. Alright, so that's all set up. Now to make use of this crimson wood I collected. Fortunately, and my cat just stepped on the keyboard. Sorry about that. Resume game. Okay, so what I'm gonna do with this stuff, hide the keyboard from the cat. Oof. Didn't want to fall in there. Okay, so I think it'll be easier just to show you what I'm doing with this instead of explaining it. So let's do a time lapse. And there we have it. Honestly, that looks a lot better than I thought it was. I was afraid it would be way too gaudy, but use the shroom lights to make sure everything was lit up properly. And the stripes actually look really good. I think when we get the next step in, yeah, it's going to be nice. I'm not 100% sure how to do the next step yet, though, so let's do some testing here. Let's see if we got any ink sacs. Okay. Okay. So the next order of business on this build is going to be the front panel, which is going to be all glass. So I tried a few different colors from black, white, light blue, blue, gray, and light gray. But I forgot that we are in a swamp biome, so all the water is an ugly green. So the best color it seems to use is the clear glass, so that's what we are going to go with. So I'm going to start by removing the water I've placed down for testing. And then we are going to build a glass wall. But cue the time lapse. We got some company. Let's see, I don't have the arrows to really take care of much here. But I should be able to get rid of him. and him. And the creepers are not really in the way. Alright, so I need to get back to work now. Alright, I'm back. Just thought maybe some people might be wondering how I got so much glass. So I figured I'd show you. Now, cutting down all those trees used a lot of durability on my hoe. So, to get it up, I've been doing trading with the villagers. Which gives pretty good experience in the end. Oops, I didn't want to do that, but anyways. But most of these villages actually sell glass. Which is why I have an abundance of glass. It's simply because I've been doing two tasks in one. Mending my tools and collecting glass. So yes, as you can tell, that's been extremely helpful in this project for multiple reasons. Okay, now with that done, not again! Where do they keep coming from? Oh, hell nah. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I got that glass wall up, and I've partially filled this with water. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to need more water to do this or not, but now I need to make all this flowing water into source blocks. I'm hoping by doing it every other one, it'll be able to fill itself up like it would. And by the way, your Minecraft character needs ale. And we have a nice little skeleton in our capture chamber, huh? Interesting. Okay, let's see. Where'd all my dirt go? Well, I'll start with what I got here. Now, to quickly turn all this flowing water into source blocks, what I'm going to do is just plant kelp. Alright, so that is all done now, and I gotta admit that was much easier to do in my creative test world. But now that those are all water source blocks, the next thing we need to do is line this bottom with soul sand. Make sure you're not using soul soil or it won't work. It has to be soul sand. All along the bottom here. Okay, so now that we have the bubble elevator in place, time for the next step in the process. I think we're gonna get bonus slime balls off of this. Anyways. Now... Okay, now remember, this massive bubble elevator with so many columns is purely for cosmetic purposes and is like 0 for practicality. So if you're trying to recreate this on your own world, yeah, just use one or two rows to make it simple. Okay, now it's kind of giving me some trouble here. I should not have done it all the way up. Okay, now that we are at this point, we need to figure out exactly how tall this area needs to be. So the piglins need a space of 2 to fit. So this should actually be right where we need it. Now the next step is just kind of tricky to pull off. But to do it, I definitely need an extra water bucket. I'm probably gonna have to move this down by 1 if I remember right. It's gonna go all the way across there. No, I think that's actually gonna work. So, with that in place, we remove this temporary floor I had to put in. Okay, so the bubble elevator will always push the piglins up into this water stream, which is going to push them over this way. So we're going to need to take this out. As I said, this is where it gets kind of tricky because you're trying to manipulate the water in a way it's not really meant to be flowing. Because we need to place, we need to make sure the water doesn't backflow into our... If it flows that way, it'll get in the way. So we need... I think we can actually use the existing water to finish the water flow that we've got. Nope, not quite. But it's close. I think if we... Let me see. Maybe, I'm not sure yet. Let's put a couple blocks there and see if that fixes the issue. I think what we need to do is remove the water from right underneath this block here. Okay, there we go. Now we can take a pickaxe. Kind of hard to do from underwater when you can't see, but... Come on, break before I suffocate. Almost. Now let's get in. Okay, so if you did it right, and I'm stuck, of course. Getting out of this stuff's always harder than getting in it, huh? Okay. So now we pretty much just do the same thing on the other side. I'm actually quite happy with just how how perfect the water's flowing. So now then, yeah, I should have done that from above, huh? Okay, now I am going to reiterate, most of this is for cosmetic purposes. There is much, much easier and better ways to accomplish this goal. Which, if I wasn't recording this to show everybody, I'd have just done a single elevator and called it good. There we go. Now with that, okay, got a small issue there, but I know exactly how to fix that one. I just gotta get down here and get a couple more supplies. Now time for Fact of the Night with Zapagalis. The stirrup is believed to have originated in Asia 1,000 years after the horse was domesticated. This probably occurred around the 3rd century as evidenced by artifacts found. The first recorded mention of the stirrup in history was in 580 AD in a Byzantine military manual. But between the 6th and 7th century, the invasion of Central Asia by the Avars marked the spread of the stirrup from China to Europe. Around the 10th century, Viking raiders introduced the stirrup to England, which paved the way for the knight class by allowing heavier armors and weapons to be used while on horseback. This class also created the vassalage system, where kings granted nobles land. Hey guys, I hope you're liking the video, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you! Okay, so to fix the water flow issue here, we are going to take out these 2 blocks. Could probably get away with taking out 1, but I'm OCD, so we gotta do 2. And I probably should have done this before I took them out. Ugh. Thank God obsidian can't be blown up, right? Let's see if I can accomplish it from up here. Yes and no, I just gotta do it right. Bubble elevators are great for transporting mobs, but God, they're annoying on everything else. Okay, so now I think I lost a door. I think it's these two right here. Oh, I'm not doing this right at all. Okay, for sanity reasons, I'm just gonna do it this way. Take that out. And that. Now we'll come around back. Temporarily place those logs down. There we go. There we go. I'll take those logs back out. Oh, and we lost a log. Now I gotta go down and get it. Okay, so we will replace that one. Yeah, we're gonna get 3 slime balls out of this farm. That's actually very nice. Let's drop down and get our missing logs. Okay, so after you got that done, take your buckets of water. Make sure you're not hitting the trapdoors. And place them there. That will make a nice smooth flow straight to this point. Final step, before we can call this portion of the build done, is to put signs right here. There we go. I should not be able to just stand on that. Don't know why there's still water down there, but... Not sure why there's water down here, but I'll count my blessings. Oh, I know why, okay. That'll be easy to fix, but actually a good idea to just leave it there for now. Up we go. Yeah, so the water's a little bit finicky in exactly how it flows in this kind of position. Yeah, this was definitely much easier to do in creative mode. Okay, there we go. So this is what your water should look like when you're done. Everything should be flowing right into this chamber right here. Now that that's done, we will replace our this glass that we used to make our little exit. This chamber itself should be a 2x2 area, or 2x1 area. This is where all the mobs will drop down into. Now we're going to dig this out so that we can do a couple of things with it. Well, actually what we need to do is fill this bottom layer in. Here we go. Alright, now I need to gather up a couple more supplies and we will be ready to finish this up. You know, before I work on the next stage, we need to do a quick test here. Shouldn't have to turn that on for very long, and now we just need to wait. Oh yeah, I really like how that came out. Here's the piglins. Okay, here comes our first one. Perfect. You can see him going up around the top, hitting the center, pushed in, and he lived, which is good. So yeah, they're definitely weakened. I'd like them to be a little bit weakened, a little more than that, but... You know, that's good. That's good. Now for the supplies I need. Alright, so I am out here trying to gather tridents, and I found something of interest. What is a normal zombie doing way down here at the bottom of the ocean? Anyways, as I was saying, if you know what this is, we just found an amethyst geode. which is good because we can use these blocks later. Not really in a position where I want to actually do anything with it now, but I am going to do some work and clear out some of the budding amethyst. The amethyst with that little X on it is a budding amethyst, which means it is the only ones that can grow these crystals. And for a crystal to grow, it has to have an empty side around the budding amethyst. So if we just clear a few of these, if we just expose a few extra faces, we can let this grow, and then when we are actually ready to come back to it, it should have a few more of them waiting for us. It would be nice if we could move the budding amethyst, but if you try to move them in any way, either by hand, silk touch, or even a piston, they will shatter and become no more. So yeah, this actually makes a good base of operation for drown hunters, so I'm gonna get back to it. I think this little guy got kind of lost. Did your master decide to go for a swim and forget he couldn't swim? You know, don't worry, I'll get you out of here. I never thought I'd get him out alive. Alright, so I happened to stumble around onto another amethyst. And this one, judging by the fact all the crystals are budded, oh yeah, it is in load range of Fort Netherwatch. So this one is even better, and I am definitely going to mark it off for later usage. But a better way to map an amethyst geode than with amethyst. This one's much closer to land, so it's definitely going to be easier to much easier to use than the other one. Okay, if you don't have a trident, I do not want to see you. We will harvest this amethyst while we are here so that it can grow again. Dang, this stuff is breaking real easy. I gotta be extra careful with this pickaxe, huh? I think I'm gonna have to downgrade to something without efficiency, so I don't accidentally break the budding amethyst. That is actually a lot of buds. Huh. Oh, never mind. I'm using Silk Touch. I was going to say that is pretty bad harvest, but no. We're getting the cluster instead of the shard because of the Silk Touch. Alright, and with that, I believe we are at a good stopping point for this episode. I actually have a lot more video clips to edit. which process pretty much just decorating and making everything look cool. So we are going to do that in the next episode, and should have everything completed then. But for now, we're going to call it good. Uh, uh, Good. Now, I was talking to a mortician, and he said they just came out with new glass coffins. And then I asked, so, are they any good? Are they gonna catch on? And he said, well, we don't know yet. There remains to be seen. Thank you all for watching, and keep on rocking Knights of the Bedrock. Don't forget to like and subscribe.